Dear students and dear colleagues, I'm Davide Pettenella, professor of forest economics and policy at the University of Padua in Italy. And I've been asked to prepare a short message for the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the launch of the ENARECO program at the Institute of Ecological Economics and Management of the Ukrainian National Forest University. I'm very pleased to do it. And I would like now, in a few minutes, to reflect on the motivation we had 20 years ago with Hans Hessmann, with Professor Yuri Tunizia, and with Noel Lust, when we start thinking to create a master program dealing with environmental economics and the economics of natural resource management. The motivation we had at that time are still valid. Can we still think that it is worthwhile to work on these topics? My answer is yes. And the motivation uh, can be found in three fields of thinking. First of all, we are still facing the problem of climate change. The problem is, by the way, increasing, but with a new dimension of the problem, especially for the forest sector. 20 years ago, we were thinking to the forest resources mainly in terms of mitigation. What could we do to use a forest for mitigating the problem of climate change? Nowadays, the new phase of the problem is connected with adaptation. How can we keep our forest resources alive, healthy, uh, under this changing condition of the climate? The second reason is connected with the problem that we are facing in Europe of increasing conflicts in the use of natural resources and forest resources. There has been in these years an new trend in the market for wood products, with a radical change in the demand for bioenergy. Bioenergy means using our forest for producing biomass, products that are normally of low added value than the traditional timber products used for building, for furniture, and other industrial uses. And this is arising quite a lot of problems. Of course, many people work in the industrial sectors. They are very keen on observing this type of development. As a forester, we should be a bit more worried because producing biomass means producing wood at low prices, working for very large biorefineries that are able to process some millions of cubic meter every year means increasing the market power by this industrial player and on the contrary decreasing the market power and at the end the profit in forest management. So these are, I think, new elements of reflection. How can we keep the use of our forest profitable? How can we create motivation for our forest owners? And how can we take advantage of other forest services that can have a market that can be paid by consumers? I'm thinking to the large area of marketing of non-wood forest products and new services like carbon sequestration or biodiversity protection. The third and last motivation deals with the problem of knowledge and perception, and therefore action, political action, in relation to the value of environmental services coming out from our forests and our natural areas. 20 years ago, we were making a spot analysis of the value, of the economic value of many environmental services. Nowadays, we need to introduce a more systemic evaluation of these services. We need to change our accounting system and on a stable base to introduce a system of environmental accounts. We need to give a clear value to natural capital and to the services deriving from the use of environmental resources. Moreover, we need to create a broader perception of the economic values connected with the use of our forests and natural areas. People still have no idea of the great value of environmental services. We need to make people more aware about these values in such a way that the policymaker can act in a consistent way. This means we need to have policymakers that are willing to invest in forest protection and in support of the provision of environmental services through new instruments like the payment for environmental services. How to implement these instruments if we have not a clear perception of the value of our resources? So as you see, and I'm concluding this short message, we still need young people, professionals, scientists working in this field. And I'm sure that the Ukrainian National Forestry University is playing an important role, not only for the Ukrainian natural resources, but for the European ones. And in this light, I am really open to reinforce all our very good relation. And I'm looking forward to come to Lviv and to participate to the international meeting that you are organizing next autumn. So my last word is arrivederci, arrivederci presto.